I have seen this play, heard about this play. I've only seen videos of different stage productions of this play. And as it says on the cover, this is one of the great American plays. However, unless you've actually read it, you've probably never heard what I'm about to read to you. And it is amazing. And it is, again, why I can see why I'm getting chills just thinking about it, because Lorraine Hansberry is the bomb. So Act 1, Scene 1, and I'm just going to read you the setting, okay? Just the setting. Again, because when you see it, they don't read this. They just have the play. But here's what the playwright herself wrote. Act 1, Scene 1. The younger living room would be a comfortable and well-ordered room if it were not for a number of indestructible contradictions to this state of being. Its furnishings are typical and undistinguished, and their primary feature now is that they have clearly had to accommodate the living of too many people for too many years, and they are tired. Still, we can see that at some time, a time probably no longer remembered by the family, except perhaps Mama, the furnishings of this room were actually selected with care and love and even hope, and brought to this apartment and arranged with taste and pride. That was a long time ago. Now, the once loved pattern of the couch upholstery has to fight to show itself from under acres of crocheted doilies and couch covers, which have themselves finally come to be more important than the upholstery. And here a table or a chair has been moved to disguise the worn places in the carpet. But the carpet has fought back by showing its weariness with depressing uniformity elsewhere on its surface. Weariness has, in fact, won in this room. Everything has been polished, washed, sat on, used, scrubbed too often. All pretenses but living itself have been long since vanished from the very atmosphere of this room. All pretenses but living itself have long since vanished from the very atmosphere of this room. Moreover, a section of this room, for it is not really a room unto itself, though the landlord's lease would make it seem so, slopes backward to provide a small kitchen area where the family prepares the meals that are eaten in the living room proper, which must also serve as dining room. The single window that has been provided for these two rooms is located in the kitchen area. The sole natural light the family may enjoy in the course of a day is only that which fights its way through this little window. At left, a door leads to a bedroom which is shared by Mama and her daughter, Benitha. At right, opposite, is a second room, which in the beginning of the life of this apartment was probably a breakfast room, which serves as a bedroom for Walter and his wife, Ruth. Time. Somewhere between World War II and the present. Place. Chicago South Side. At rise. It is morning, dark in the living room. Travis is asleep on the make-down bed at center. An alarm clock sounds from within the bedroom at right, and presently Ruth enters from that room and closes the door behind her. She crosses sleepily towards the window. As she passes her sleeping son, she reaches down and shakes him a little. At the window, she raises the shade, and a dusky south side morning light comes in feebly. She fills a pot with water and puts it on to boil. She calls to the boy, between yawns and a slightly muffled voice. Ruth is about 30. We can see that she was a pretty girl, even exceptionally so, But now it is apparent that life has been little that she expected, and disappointment has already begun to hang in her face. In a few years, before 35 even, she will be known among her people as a settled woman. She crosses to her son and gives him a good, final, rousing shake. And then, of course, the dialogue begins. Just the setting of the scene of this, and you know that this apartment was not built for them, not built for people like them, that they've just come up, that they are part of the Great Migration. And this is mind-blowingly interesting, well-told, well-crafted. I'm going to be reading this book, and I'm going to be watching the two different versions that I've seen, because I've seen three versions. When this book came out, when this book was published, let me see when this book was published. It's from Holtsville High in Alabama, and I got it in a thrift store in Alabama. So this book was published in, come on. So this book was published in 1994. And of course, A Raisin in the Sun was copywritten in 1958. And everyone knows the infamous, very wonderful stage productions. The one with Esther Rolle, and that was broadcast on February 1st, 1989. Esther Rolle played Mama, and Danny Glover played Walter Lee, and you might know some of the other names, but if you go back to the other production from 1959, you have Ruby Dee, who played Ruth. You have Glenn Turman, who played Travis, the child, the little boy. Sidney Poitier played Walter Lee. Louis Gossett was, oh my gosh. I mean, this is just, but now I've also seen Phylicia Rashad, Puff Daddy, to name a few people in the more modern production. If you haven't seen this classic American play, you should. And if you've seen it and you haven't read it, you should. As I said, I'm going to be reading it along with as I rewatch some of the different versions. I love good writers.